Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for May 21st, 2025 for this Wednesday edition. We're going to be looking at the hazards for the lower 48 United States, as well as the water vapor and as well as severe weather outlooks. Thank you for joining me. Please hit that subscribe button here. We're looking at the National Weather Service current hazards here, courtesy of pivotalweather.com, and you can see that it's really shrunk. The severe weather, you're going to see on another map that the severe weather is really shrunk compared to what it was yesterday and last week. As we head toward the end of the week and Memorial Day weekend, many travelers are looking forward to some great weather, even if they're only going 50 to 100 miles from home. Right now, we have in Pennsylvania, we have a tornado watch in yellow. This includes the Pittsburgh metro area as well as the Laurel Highlands area, and Western Maryland is under flood watch. Remember, they had a lot of rain in Cumberland and Hagerstown and up in the Garrett County there, extreme Western Maryland. That flooding is still, subsided, but they still have a lot of cleanup efforts there. They're going to be getting more rain. Be careful for mudslides along the mountainous terrain and hilly terrain there as you're going along Interstate 68, Interstate 70 into Pittsburgh, Breezewood Junction, Somerset, Pennsylvania, up toward Pittsburgh, Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, and all those areas in the Laurel Highlands. You're under a tornado watch in yellow, as well as a tornado warning is in one county down south of Pittsburgh area. And then you have green. You have that flash flood warning I showed you in Western Maryland and South Central PA, and then also in the Shenandoah Valley. So if you're coming along I-81 just to the east there, say Harrisonburg, east of Harrisonburg and Luray, caverns and those areas up there, flood watch is in effect for those highest of elevation counties there. Now, some of the rivers are elevated too, but nothing going on there. But out in the Dakotas, we have a freeze warning. North Dakota, temperatures could be below 20s, low 20s there degrees for southwestern North Dakota there. This is south of the I-90 corridor, like Jamestown and Bismarck, south of you guys, closer to the Black Hills of South Dakota. A freeze warning is in effect there. Out west, we do have a small slither of a heat advisory. High pressure is firmly in control, so if you're coming along the I-5, Oceanside, north of San Diego County, back into Laguna Beach, Long Beach, LA, you're under that heat advisory there in orange there as temperatures get closer to 90, 95, feeling like 100 in some places there, so be very careful. And then we also have a slither of a wind advisory here. This is coming up for the high canyons, the high desert area, high Interstate 15 coming up in the Big Bear and Breezewood, those areas north of town, north of the LA basin there. This high wind advisory for those 50 to 60 mile an hour winds in the canyons and the passes there. So you can look at the radar and you can see it shows perfectly here. We had a storm diving down from Canada here. Alberta and Saskatchewan prairies bringing heavy rain, kind of moderate rain to the Dakotas there. North Dakota into South Dakota and then into Minnesota here. Across the Great Lakes here, Wisconsin, which had that severe weather yesterday and those tornadoes, that's gone thankfully, but we're left with some showers here along the Great Lakes here, as you can see north of Chicago. But if you're in Kenosha heading toward I-94, Kenosha, Milwaukee, you're going to be getting into that rain, that steady rain. Madison, you're kind of like on the back end, so you can some just brief showers. But it's going to be heading across the lakes here, 32 miles across towards Gaylord, Michigan, places like that, Grand Rapids, over toward Kalamazoo, and St. Joseph, Benton Harbor, you're getting some showers. South Bend, you're getting a little bit of rain here. And this extends into the Ohio Valley. So Columbus, Cleveland, Dayton, Springfield, Akron, you guys are going to be in some rain. Of course, Pittsburgh area I just highlighted earlier. And it's going to be sliding eastward tomorrow into Thursday. We're going to have heavy rain again in the morning for areas up the 95 corridor from Washington, Baltimore, Harrisburg, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New York, Trenton, places like that, back in towards the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area and upstate New York. You're going to be experiencing heavy rain, but it'll also be clearing out tomorrow. It'll be a better improvement probably by tomorrow afternoon for the East Coast around 4 or 5 o'clock, just in time for the afternoon rush hour. This should be clearing out and should be left for the overcast skies for the remainder of the day. We have some storms out here in the plains. These are brief storms here, nothing severe outside of Lincoln, Nebraska and Kearney, Nebraska, heading up towards I-76, Fort Collins and Denver area, but nothing severe there as well. Southwest looks absolutely fabulous. Phoenix, Las Vegas, LA, San Diego, Tucson, El Paso looking great. New Mexico looking great, and Texas looking great. DFW down to Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and back out towards Midland, Odessa looking great here. So you can see we have in the tropics, June 1st is the beginning of hurricane season, as you know, but the season is going to get kicked off, already started in the eastern Pacific here. We have a high chance of development, greater than 60% chance to get Andrea. That'll be the first name for the Pacific storm, probably by Memorial Day or just before Memorial Day, that Sunday on May 27th or something like that. We'll have a storm developing out there in the eastern Pacific. Elsewhere, it's quiet in the Caribbean, in the Gulf of Mexico, and the Atlantic is quiet. Too early to look out that far. Climatologically speaking, we're looking closer to these fronts that come off the cold fronts that come off of Florida in the next month in June for something to spark up along the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, or even possibly in the Western Caribbean, Western Gulf of Mexico. Excuse me. So we have to wait and see what happens with that. But next week is guaranteed that something is going to be happening in the Eastern Pacific. So we just have to keep our eyes open for that first name storm of the year. Dry air as an orange here has perforated here all the way from San Diego all the way up to Oklahoma City, Tulsa. That's good news. We had that severe weather in Oklahoma earlier, like I said, along with Wisconsin the other day, 2 days ago. That's cleared, and the dry air is inhibiting this the strength of the severe thunderstorms, and it's putting that cap energy is putting a cap on it, and that's good news for the middle of the country as well as the mid-Atlantic here. As you can see, very dry air over North Carolina. You guys enjoying a beautiful day from Asheville to Raleigh, Durham, back down to Wilmington and Charleston, South Carolina. Perfect weather up into the Delmarva with this dry air here. And you can see on the SPC, this is Storm Prediction Center outlook here. You can see there's only a slight risk now. That's a 2 out of 5 risk for areas like Fayetteville, Arkansas, Mountain Home, and the Ozarks. And back towards a little slither of northeastern Oklahoma on the Oklahoma Turnpike there, and a little slither of Kansas. So this shows you how much it's shrunk compared to days past here. So you're looking at only a 10 to 15% chance, and most of this is going to deal with hail and straight line winds, is what we're going to be experiencing here, according to the slight risk of severe thunderstorms across eastern North Carolina, southern Georgia, northern Florida here, right here at this area here. And this is mostly going to be wind, hail. Like I said, hail and straight line winds is what they're looking at. That surface boundary there that's gotten kind of stalled along northern Florida, southern Georgia there, and then out in the plain states. So it's very good news here compared to what we have been seeing here. Great news for you guys in northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, and northeast Oklahoma as well. So just keep that in mind as you're planning your day. All of this should be gone by the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday looks absolutely fabulous for more than two-thirds of the country here, and going into Memorial Day. And that should be a blessing in the sky, a blessing for many people who are looking to get outdoors and enjoy the first unofficial summer holiday of 2025. So take care. Please be sure to subscribe. Blessings, and I'll talk to you soon in the next episode. This is the Weather Guru signing off.